Church for Life made such a difference in my life. When I first came, I was a widow. I was still grieving the loss of my husband, who died from cancer 9 months before. I'd moved from the Central Coast, where I'd lived for 17 years, left a church that I'd been in for 10 years, to move up to live with my sister, who also lost her partner 6 weeks after my husband died. For a while, my purpose was just supporting my husband. But once I'd lost my husband, then what was I going to do? What was I going to do? So I came to Church for Life, and my whole life changed. At first, I just did little things, like I started helping out before and after the church service, getting the meal ready and cleaning up afterwards. And then I found out Leslie, who ran the op shop, needed help. So I began working with volunteering in the op shop 1 day a week, and I'd never worked in an op shop before, or any shop really. I'd help Leslie bring the fruit and veg in and label it all and set it out and wrap the fruit and veg that needed cutting and wrapping, and then she got me to start typing up labels, which was then going into the skills that I'd already had, because I'd been working in administration for most of my working life. So I found out that they needed help in the office too. Richard talked about needing help in the office for the church. And I said, well, I can do that. Here's my resume, which was about 5 pages long. I started out just printing and guillotining, and I'd never used a hand guillotine before, and I'd never printed the flyers, which went on to the blue bags. So they were stapled onto the blue bags to put into people's mailboxes so that they would donate the clothes. And there was one for each day of the week, Monday to Friday. And I'd then seen Leslie arriving some days when I was over at the church. I forget, how come you're not at the op shop still? Oh, I come in on like a Wednesday and we get everything ready for Pete's Kitchen. What's Pete's Kitchen? Pete's Kitchen was a free community meal that the church prepared every week for up to 60 people. And they got a 3-course meal for free. What amazed me was that they had nice bright red tablecloths. The tables were all set ready and prepared like you were going to a restaurant, with cutlery and glasses and jugs of water and salt and pepper and side plates with serviettes on them. It was just amazing. It amazed me because I knew the church was only small. There was only, most days in the church, probably 20 to 30 people maximum, and yet they did this, and they ran the clothing collection business. I just had to be involved. Everybody was welcome, and if ever they heard that somebody was in need of work so that they could they would try and fit that person into a paid job, even if it was only a few hours a week or a day a week. They would try and give that person paid work so that they could support themselves or their family. So it gave me community, it gave me a sense of belonging. It gave me people who later became my friends and my family. And it gave me a sense of well-being that I hadn't had for quite a while. I suppose you could say I met my husband.
How did that happen?
Well, I was working in the warehouse on my one volunteer day a week, and this guy rocks up, unexpected. So while he's looking around the warehouse, I discreetly went and called Richard and said, this guy called Alan's here. And he says he's starting work and he's come here to look to see where he can put his tools. Anyway, Richard said, yeah, he is coming. So that's okay, just let him look around. Thanks for letting me know. And then after that, Alan just started coming to the church, and he started coming to Pete's Kitchen. He's now been my husband for almost 4 years. So there you go. You might have your plans, but you can't deny God's plan. My time at the charity, the biggest impact probably came during that time when I was paid and I was actually doing things which I had not done before. They were still related to administration, but they were a different type of administration. And I got to supervise a couple of different groups, supervise the people who went and distributed the bags, supervise the drivers who went to pick them up. Plus I got to be with some beautiful people in the office. One was a volunteer and another one came along as a trainee. And I got to see Gail, who ran that side of the business more and more. And I think that's when I had the most interesting time. It was challenging. The tasks were new. My confidence was being built up as I went. But I was really enjoying having this team of people and looking out for them and trying my best to help them so that they could be the best people they could be. Help them overcome things like anxiety. Help them see that God was in this. Help them to realise if they needed to move on. Because sometimes God does want you to move on. Like eventually he did with me. So there's a whole gamut of things that you can do, but if you be yourself, you trust God and allow him to work through you, you have no idea what he's going to do. No idea. And it amazes me what he can do with little old me. At the end of my years, like, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I am in my 60s, getting closer and closer to that big 70, and to be working at this, in that twilight years of my life, you could say, and having the impact that I've always wanted to have on people is just so amazing to me, and I am so grateful.